Crystal and DMG will take that first win. IDO just not able to compete, not able to farm, not able to get anything done. 10,000 gold down.
Yeah, well, there you go. It was pretty crazy, too. Even before the crystal turrets were taken down, the vein crystal turrets there, even before the gold mine went off, they were also ahead like 9K gold. So if you look back to the game where Guest was up against IDO, and they were obviously very far ahead, they were only like 4K gold ahead. So you could see the difference between like a good team and a fantastic, like a great team here. I'm just really excited to watch more of DMG playing.
Yeah, same here. But IDO will take 0 points so far. You know, they need a win here at least to get 1 point, but I just don't see it happening going to the second game. We'll have to see. If they lose here, there'll be 2 losses, 0 points. DMG will take 3 points before they go up against their next opponent, but I worry for IDO going to the rest of this group. They have not shown us the best performance.
Yeah, they do have one more team to go up against after this. It's going to be ETW, and keep in mind, ETW beat Guest, who then beat IDO, so we'll have to wait and see if they can kind of regroup themselves after that.
Sure. Let's take a look at a replay of that last game. Let's break down some of the pieces of the game we just watched.
What exactly went wrong here? Kind of just pushing too far forward. Rona joins up with Arden there, and they're able to clean up, getting an early 2-0 lead.
And down goes NNDW as well in this fight here.
Yeah, all alone, no vision.
Yeah, this is the early 4 kills that they got. And after that, they kind of played safe for a while. So did IDO. They were like, oh, we're losing too many members. This is bad. And that's when they actually decide to let that character live. And again, this is Shall We in a nutshell. Always trying to counter jungle when they have no farm, but always getting caught and always getting punished because there are scout traps in every bush. There are scout traps in every walkway. They're going to find you. They're going to kill you.
Yeah. Then we come here to the lane, where another fight is going down. NNDW gets caught out. Scarf goes down as well, cleaning up for that ace, and they do come in here and get a couple of turrets, and then push in with a nice gauntlet.
Yep. And there's another Sky ult. This is when Dead Doll is able to escape barely to make sure that it was at least a 2v1 trade. That was a close call. I feel like that was their riskiest moment. Like, that was the scariest time for DMG of the entire game.
And they weren't even diving a turret or anything crazy like that. It was just in the lane where they got a little bit too far forward, eating a bit too much damage, but they still came out ahead.
And just with every advantage, they take it further. And, oh, we're not even gonna take that, put it away. We're not gonna look at that.
We don't want to watch that last fight, the craziest fight. No, don't show us that one.
We don't want to see that. No, we don't want to see that. So.
Yeah.
That was gross.
That game ended in 12 minutes, under 12 minutes. So I would expect the next one to be quite similar. I wonder if IDO has like any idea of some like sort of cheese strat that they could go for. There used to be like the Storm Guard banner thing, but that's taken out of the game now. I'm not really sure exactly what there is, but they've got to do something crazy to take out DMG. I don't think just standard play from what they show us is going to win them this one.
I think just playing safer overall is what's important, because what happened to them versus Gas, as well as what happened to them in that series, is they lost too many kills early. They lost a big momentum swing, and then basically their opponents played well and stole their farm. If they stay even in the early game, then they can at least protect their own jungle and hope for better fights later, instead of just being like totally robbed the entire game of any farm and any money to buy items that are essential.
Yeah.
So.
I would like if they just sit back and play very safe. You know, allow your Rona and Catherine to just walk together for once. Like, don't just always split up. Like, they always just get caught out one by one, and that's what leads to the disadvantage. Like, if it's a 5-on-5, you can sometimes win a 4-on-5 team fight. You're not really going to win a 2-on-3 unless the other guys are very low, they're in a bad position. You can pick off one quickly, something like that, but a great team is not going to make that mistake. So if you lose one member, you're kind of screwed for the next minute or so, you know?
Yeah.
So
it's definitely true. And I just feel like the early game is so important in Vainglory when you're looking at a team that basically just is unwilling to make mistakes in the later stages, and that kind of snowball effect is what we saw there. So Well, we'll have to see as well about the drafts if IDO is going to stick with their guns a little bit here, or they're going to change it up.
I don't know what they'll ban. You know, are they still going to go for a Glaive ban? I mean, Glaive is a pretty strong hero. It's a good ban for sure, pretty standard, but I don't know. Like, what would you pick out? Maybe
I'd ban Sky after
maybe
that
Sky,
game.
yeah.
Stop Godfather from just destroying the lane.
Yeah. But the thing is, I don't think you can ban out Godfather. Like, if you ban out Sky, he could pick Adagio for all he wants. Like, he could just, you know, he could do whatever he wants. I would say, like, maybe ban out Arden even.
Yeah.
Something weird like that, or ban out Rona.
We might even see a little bit of styling from Godfather in the second game.
It could happen.
He might play something crazy. We might see Ringo. He could come back in this or something. That would be really cool. That'd be a lot of fun.
Ringo, Adagio lane again.
Will he like go Saw lane?
Back. Yeah. No, he's done that before. He's done that, and he's won. Okay, so don't hold anything back when you're thinking about Godfather. Anything could realistically happen. He could bring out anything.
Sure.
Maybe he'll play like Glaive lane. That would be fun.
That would be crazy.
Like they ban out Rona, thinking, oh, we got to get rid of Rona. No, Glaive's coming at you in the lane this time. That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be really cool to see. His control is just incredible. That's the number one thing about him.
Mm-hmm.
Just looking at our feed here, it looks like IDO is trying to fix some technical problems that they are experiencing before we go into the second game. Also, maybe trying to pick up the pieces of their shattered reality. As,
They're like, did this really happen to us? Going 0-3 this fast on stage in front of everyone? Yes, it did. They don't really look too happy right now.
No, definitely not.
Shelby over there is just like, I don't know. Kind of just laughing it off. You know, obviously a little bit embarrassed after everything that has happened here.
Well, I mean, it's again, like we said, Godfather's known to be the best player in China, and to play against him, you have to know that like he is the best player in China.
Yeah.
Like everyone, his reputation stands for a reason. This may be the first time they've played against each other. You know,
Yeah,
just
probably.
play a game like this and be like, wow, he really is the best. Oh my God.
It's probably a bit of like, you know, you feel good about something like that. You're like, oh, I actually got to play against Godfather, the Godfather, you know?
Sure.
So.
Well, hopefully we get an update on the delays here pretty soon, because I want to see that draft. I want to see who's going to take that lead. Really important, really important ban, I think, from IDO and what we're going to see.
Yeah.
Looks like we're getting closer. Hear that music.
Oh.
Don't get too excited.
Hold your horses, guys. We're not ready just yet.
That's what I would look like if I was a really tall, glasses-wearing Chinese commentator, and what you would look like if you were a female Chinese commentator.
With really long hair.
With really long hair
Yeah.
and a nice gray, blazer type thing. That's what.
I actually like my blazer better with the flower. I think it looks better.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
We got the flowers going on.
Well, if you guys aren't enjoying this matchup so much, we do have DMG versus ETW coming up next, and ETW took out Guest, and looking like that second place team so far.
Yeah.
So I would say like match number 4, the one we got coming up after this, is going to be like super hype.
It might be the best one of the evening, so definitely one to check out. If you also like watching teams get, Shrek'd one-sided, you like to be that guy in the Twitch chat, like,
If you like watching Godfather,
these guys are terrible, like,
Yeah.
DMG is
this
just
used to be a
destroying
Vainglory
them.
stream, but now it's Massacre, stuff like that.
And we
You
gotta
should
get-
tune in to the next game.
We got to get the Geneva Convention on this. This is a human rights violation to put them up against DMG. I noticed on the Chinese stream we've got a super big phone and an iPad mini next to each other on the desk, just showing you.
Oh, wow, is that a phone? I think that might be the iPad mini, and the other one's the iPad.
Nah, man, that's like the new phablet phone for sure.
Phablet?
Yeah.
What's a phablet? Phone tablet?
Phone tablet, yeah.
Oh, I actually never heard about that.
So.
We're getting the update, actually, that it may be a Chinese Mi Pad. I don't even know what that is. So
That sounds like a Nintendo venture. Probably not, but. All right, finally we got our draft. A ban on Celeste and a ban on Cruel. So IDO running to ban Celeste.
another ban on Cruel against IDO. Maybe there's just one player on that team that's actually good at.
Look at Godfather, man. We're seeing a lock-in on Petal, first of all, by the way. Godfather is actually going to play
Petal and
Glaive.
Finn and Glaive.
Finn.
This might not be in the lane, but I think it's going to be in the lane because just looking at the compositions, And because it's the Godfather who's generally a laner, I mean, he does have, you know, he can play all positions for sure.
And we have Adagio, Koshka, and Catherine for IDO. So we're going to see the first Adagio we've seen this tournament.
And it should be an Adagio lane as well.
Yep. So that'll be fun.
I suppose it could be a Catherine lane, which would be not the first time we've seen it. I saw it over in VGL, but not this time around. It is going to be, of course, an Adagio lane.
Adagio lane, one of my favorite things to play, so I'm happy with it. And it's going to be Shaoli on Adagio. I'm really curious to see how Petal is gonna play out, because I'd love to see Petal like roam and have Glaive play in the lane for Godfather. This is gonna be my first time really watching a professional Finn game as well. I'm not as familiar with that hero, so it'll be a learning experience for me.
That's all right. We're getting our interesting camera angles here to start off the game. Looks like Shalby actually stayed a very long time in the jungle, which led to actually Godfather coming out of the lane to buy and to just group up, and here we go. Well, a little bit of damage coming out, but too close to the turret here to really take advantage of much.
So I'm not clear yet if Petal is going to be in the lane just yet.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it
so far. It doesn't look like it, yeah. It looks like going back to Rome. And, well, that's interesting. So Godfather will actually be doing that. Glaive in the lane. And they're actually going to two-man it for now.
Yeah, this is something I haven't seen in a long, long time. Koshka's going to jungle by herself, Boy Cry on that Koshka, and they're going to try to zone out Godfather on the Glaive. I mean, it's a melee hero, of course, that Glaive, but you're going up against Godfather, first of all. Second of all, he can just kind of play passive here and farm under turret. He's not going to be too, you know, far behind from this. And as we're seeing, if you look at the mini-map, the other guys can just invade so easily.
And he can also, Glaive can also knock people with his afterburn into the turret.
Yeah, he could even essentially, if he sets it up right, 1v2.
Yeah.
So that's pretty funny as well.
And don't forget, Petal can always just rotate into the lane and swap with him if they're really going to do that. You know, if he's getting bullied because he's a melee hero.
Yeah. Petal also a very strong early game champion, or hero rather. And going to show a bit of that dominance there in the jungle. Catherine returning to the lane alone. I'm not sure where the others are. It looks like Adagio actually went back home. And Koshka being 1v2'd in the jungle so far. And he does go down, actually, to the Petal.
Ouch. Well, Glaive is owning the farm, obviously, because he is solo farming. And obviously we'll be able to get twice the farm as anyone else who stays in lane. There's going to be Catherine in the lane for now, trying to hold it down. Funny as it is that you mentioned that earlier, because I mean, she is trying to hold down the lane, and Adagio is not coming back.
This actually doesn't make sense, because you have an Iron Guard contract. You get money when other people kill stuff, or when it dies around you and you don't get the last hit, so...
It's wasted.
It's wasted, yeah. And now they're doing another very awkward rotation up here towards the lane, allowing both MX and Dead Doll to invade and get a lot of farm.
Oh, Shaoli is rocking the wrong way without vision, and I think it might cost him his life. Yep, off camera. It was such a disgusting thing that the Chinese stream was like, we're not allowed to show that.
They like, just don't want to show it to
We're like, this is inappropriate for children to see.
Yeah.
Like,
we'll just show you guys the lane.
Like, nothing happened. Disregard that message to the top right.
Yeah, no, it doesn't mean anything. It's fine. So, Godfather dominating the lane once again. Catherine continuing to solo. Doesn't really make much sense. I feel like at this point, IDO doesn't really know what they're up to. There's no plan. It's kind of just like, well, it's DMG. We're IDO. Let's kind of just have fun with this one. That's what I'm seeing from this.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, the Catherine solo lane, to be really honest, I've never seen it before. To me, like, obvious reasons, but...
I mean, when you see it, it's not with an Iron Guard contract like this, but I don't know.
It's like they changed the plan mid-game, which is tough to do when your initial build was on an Iron Guard contract, so... It's just so much wasted gold potential for so many people. Iron Guard contract is like the standard you kind of have to get it if you're playing Catherine, and then unless you're going to lane with her, but he didn't initially lane solo. He came into the lane later.
Yeah. Either way, pretty interesting. The gold is not too far apart. It seems like the strategy of sending all 3 of your members to different corners of the map and hoping not to get caught is kind of working out for IDO. They're not getting too far behind. Only, I think, about 500 gold there behind.
Yeah. Compared to last game where they were like at half their opponent's gold at this stage in the game, to like it was like 1.8 to like 4 or something like that at the stage of the game last game. All right, looks like DMG is going to take some of the farm, but not overextending. Koshka is going to grab that minion mine, head over. Then very carefully rotating around. With Godfather pretty nearby and the lane push like this, they're going to go for the gold mine. I think this is a great opportunity because they have vision. And Catherine went to check, hesitated, and still doesn't have vision.
They're scared. They see it now. They could possibly steal.
And they do. Koshka gets the steal. But how, you know, at what cost?
Well, they could just back off, but it looks like Poikrai wants a bit more, ulting onto the pedal, doing nearly no damage there. But Finn getting a little bit too far forward, as tanky as he is.
Godfather just stayed in lane during all of this, and, you know, staying in lane gives him, you know, a pretty big gold lead. But I think joining the fight here might have been the better option.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they would have been able to clean up, but Godfather getting a ton of farm. Already up to, it looks like 67.
Yeah, he's 30 farm up on anybody. Adagio the closest at 38, tied with Koshka. So he has a ton of money. He's about to be a powerhouse.
And you don't want to face a farm play. I mean, he's already got 2 items here, Tension Bow and Shiver Steel. You're not getting away from this guy ever, and he's doing a ton of damage. So it's a very scary Godfather. I'm going to really enjoy his domination. We'll see what he can do.
Well, he's already trying to use his afterburn, but unfortunately not able to make anything of it. Good zoning here, actually, by NNDW. That was really well done. And Godfather just going to take all the money. Minion Mine, obviously, or not the Minion Mine, the gold mine isn't going to release a payout for a long time, so they're not in a rush. Let's see if Godfather actually joins the fight this time, because with all that farm, all those items, you'd think he'd probably want to come down here, and here he comes.
Yeah, here he comes, the Frostburn slow from Petal, and everybody is getting so low. There you go, 2 guys going down, the Koshka finally coming out, but now he's all alone.
And trying to turn things around, and actually will get the kill on Finn, and maybe escape? No way.
Looks like he actually will, and Godfather's going to try for this gold mine, but
I actually don't think he can. I don't think he can do that.
Yeah, he's just going to back off. So IDO actually having a decent fight here. Unfortunately, Koshka stays way too long.
Maybe that was his plan all along, was to bait Koshka to try to get the kill, and then he went for the kill himself. Did you see Koshka grab regeneration? I'm sorry, correct me on the
Fountain of Renewal.
Fountain of Renewal, yeah. It does regen, you know.
Yeah, it does.
But it's not. I was struggling to come up with the exact name.
You can regen the health from your allies. It's pretty good. Pretty standard on Koshka these days.
That was a Godfather knew exactly where that mine was placed. He just like walked right through on the edge. Pretty common location.
You can tell this guy's he's probably got over 2,000 games played.
Oh,
Vainglory.
Easily. They're finally going to retake that gold mine, so it doesn't matter they didn't get it earlier. Obviously, they missed the initial payout, but it wasn't a massive one.
Now they get a pretty decent one, 186.
Oh man, Godfather right up here in the fray, but that's where he wants to be.
Yeah, he doesn't even seem to care. Tons of lifesteal coming out here. Poikrai getting very low, but the Fountain of Renewal is going to heal him up.
And then DW looks like he's going to fall. Barrier was already popped. Poikrai isn't going to rejoin the fight. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Wanted to get Godfather taken out, but just too safe here. And it's just going to be 1 kill for DMG. And Godfather's got to be careful. Meanwhile, Poikrai is going to go back to jungle. Might get caught. I think he should be able to escape, but still risky moves. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. Pedal gets the pedal dudes on him. Oh, barely escapes.
Yeah, just barely. And it's still going to open up a lot of farm once again for DMG. This is their comfort zone, where they get ahead and they can just push the enemy jungle. They begin this cycle. You know, they take the gold mine, they push in, They don't necessarily even have to get a turret. They could just cycle in, get the backside of their enemy's jungle as well. This is kind of cute. And then DW thinking he can 1v1 Godfather even when he's this slow. It's not going to work out.
No, definitely not. Vainglory coming in, though, gets a little bit scarier, but that's why we have MX.
Oh, missing the ult was Finn. Totally whiffing that one. Anchor not going to pull anyone in. That would have been a nice combo, actually, Finn into Glaive.
Yeah. But during all of this, Petal is getting so much farm in their jungle. And if they overextend here, Petal can just come up and punish them. I think that's exactly what we're going to see here.
Stun coming out, but all these minions just doing a ton of damage, and DW all the while. Adagio does go down.
Yep, and then DW likely to fall right afterwards. The Koshka ult will save him for now, but at Poikroy's the cost of his life, and I don't know if NNDW will even be able to escape. He uses his dash to try to. And Poikroy will go down. NNDW coming back in, really risky here, trying to bait them into turret, but they're not going to fall for it. The scout trap is well placed to attempt to get a baited kill.
I was watching the micro on the right side there. Not sure who that is, but very impressive.
Probably Godfather, but I don't know. Actually, I think it's Finn. It's based on...
You think so? Were you watching the movement patterns?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way.
Yeah, I think it is Finn. I think it's actually MX.
Oh, actually, it kind of looks like Petal now that I think about it. He was just kiting there on that minion.
Yeah, and Godfather was standing still, so it definitely wasn't him. I don't know. We don't know who it is. We don't know.
Fun little game we're playing in the middle of this.
It's a little mini game.
Question is, who's the guy on the left?
Oh god, don't get me started on that. I think it's Shall We.
Well, he does go down. He's still moving, so it's not Shall We.
Oh, NNDW is going to have to use his barrier here to survive. But again, this is starting to be small victories for DMG. They're starting to become a larger, big victory as they're just taking better and better trades overall.
That was cool. Petal jumping over the wall. NNDW getting very low. Poikroy trying to fight underneath that turret.
I think Poikroy wanted to ult to try to save NNDW, but I don't think that was necessary. The ult didn't go off. And that's going to be another turret here for DMG. Now taking a 5k gold lead.
Yeah, just gonna back off now as OMG. Not much farm here in the jungle. Let's steal this time. Just gonna back off.
It's awkward when Petal wants to disown her minions because of the Adagio burn. Don't come back to me.
Get away from me. I don't want to be near you.
They might actually just invade, although Godfather is going back to the other side, so probably not. They need to protect the gold payout. That's the next thing they want to make sure that they do secure. Is they can secure 2 more payouts if they get this one, and then they can hold on to it for 2 more minutes. The second one will be a tiny gold payout, technically like in-game, but it'll be, you know, some gold before the Kraken appears.
So, just farming up that jungle, looking for a pick here, actually. Finn, once again, missing that ult. Not gonna matter too much, but Godfather right on top of Shall We.
Down he goes. They like let him live. They don't even care. They're like, ignoring him. He's so irrelevant now. Koshka does ult, but there's no follow-up. And Poikroy will go down as well. NNDW gets knocked here, and MX can't follow up and get that kill, but that'd be 2 kills for free. And NNDW with a brave recall here. Not gonna matter. They're gonna get another turret.
Recalling in the face of danger. There goes that turret. You can see how much damage Godfather does now with that breaking point. That was a very extended fight, and so by the end of that, he was just chunking people. You saw even Catherine taking a ton of damage, as tanky as she is.
Yeah. This might be a bit of an overextension. Let's see. Godfather going up into the fray using his lifesteal. Adagio does ult and gets no stuns. Godfather will fall, but not before killing Koshka. And Dead Doll is going to fall as well. So this one did end up being an overextension. Might even be an ace here.
It's possible. Going to run into
scout
the scout
trap.
trap.
There you go.
Wow.
So an ace here for IDO, but it's so late. And it's definitely going to be something they could try to get an opportunity off of. Kraken isn't up for 30 seconds. And even if it were, the spawn timer is just still low enough where they can't go for it. They are 6k gold down. This is their opportunity to maybe counter jungle and try to set up another engagement.
It's going to be interesting to see what they do. Just pushing the lane for now. not going for that gold mine before it does turn into the Kraken. I guess just playing it a bit safe, and I do like that. We did see a bit too much aggression from IDO a bit earlier on. So just going to wait for that to spawn. Adagio respawning himself, or rather just going back, going to buy up a bit.
100 gold from that tiny payout for DMG as well. Still, you know, significant. And they're actually going to go straight for the Kraken. They're also checking to make sure there are no scout traps. And with that, they know there's no vision. And I think they're going to collapse back onto it and set up for it here.
To be honest, they probably could take this, but they're playing very safe, especially after that overextension. They're just like, you know, let's not do anything too rash. Let's take a team fight first and then go for the game-ending Kraken instead. Finn also picking up a Crystal Infusion, kind of leading me to believe that what I said was true. Glaive, Godfather, also picking up both infusions. So it looks like that.
He's got so much money. Oh, they're just sitting in the base here. Okay, they wanted to grab some items, perhaps.
I think they just
oh, there's the hook that we were looking for, and I think you're right. Adagio will get an ult, but gets blocked. Poi Cry is going to go down here. It looks like to the afterburn, and now it's just NNDW who will fall to be the last one. Even if he survives, they'll be able to push down these turrets, and he does not survive. There's the ace, and that will be game as DMG, as you said, will finish this one off, and will take their second set of 3 points, putting themselves in that 6-point position. We'll take out the Vein Crystal, and taking, you know, again, an early lead in this group as they are the favorites in this tournament.
Yeah. Doing very well for themselves, gaining 3 points, and going to move on to match number 4 against ETW after this one.
That's right. They only have 3 points. I don't know why I said they had 6. I just felt like that game was so one-sided that they like got 6 points from it. But no, it's just
maybe they
3.
deserve it. Maybe they don't even have to play any more games. They're like, okay, you guys, you're gonna get in anyway. So.
Yeah, but that next match will be perhaps the most exciting one, as you know, will be the two teams that did do very well. But before we actually go into the next series, we are going to have about a 15-minute break yet again. But tell your friends about this. Tell everyone to get into OGN Global on Twitch and follow us here and watch us.